I put 8 martial arts experts in 5 different surprise attacks. Including a kickboxing champion, a special forces soldier, a sumo champion, and more. So you could learn from their good...
She's sick, please don't touch her, please don't touch her.
...and bad decisions. And to find out who will become the ultimate self-defense champion. So...
welcome to the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship.
The 8 contenders who are competing for the Ultimate Self-Defense Champion title, after completing a series of home invasion scenarios, were ready for their next challenge, the surprise attack. In this challenge, the contenders will start with the hood on, and as soon as it will be removed, they will have to immediately respond to whatever threat will be in front of them. While things will get physical, their first reaction and decision right after will be the defining aspect when assessing and comparing their performances to each other, and former Canadian Special Forces soldier Randy Turner was going to go first.
This is where every scenario will start. As soon as this is taken off, it is go time.
In the first attack of an assailant with a wrench, even though Randy came out on top at the end, he got hit by the wrench once at the beginning and then multiple times later on.
As he chambered, I attempted to get over top of the limb, but I don't think I did. I think I missed it. It might have been just a height discrepancy.
Yet before we get to compare Randy's performance with the other 7 contenders, Randy first will get to go through all 5 surprise attacks one after the other, with the following one being...
This is information you need to know.
I don't hold babies very often. I think I've held one baby that size ever, so I was awkward just even putting it in my arms properly. I wasn't really sure how to hold it.
Yo, what's good, bro?
Good, how are you?
What's your name?
Randy, what's your name?
Roberto.
Nice to meet you.
This is your baby?
That's my baby, yeah.
Can I see closer?
No, just keep your distance. I don't know who you are. My thought process when the hood came off, the directions and the instructions that were given did not say we couldn't use the door. Talk this guy away, keep the distance, head the baby away from him, make my way towards the open door, and then if he didn't bugger off, place the baby down and then engage.
What's your name?
Just carry on with your day here. I'm just gonna get out of here.
How old is she?
She's a newborn.
Can I hold it, please?
Take your time. Back up. Nope.
Can I hold this?
While the situation could have escalated, Randy did a great job at keeping the stranger occupied while maintaining distance and walking out safely through the door.
Since in self-defense, fighting is by far not the only option, even though the surprise attack challenge is designed to lead to physical altercations, I wanted to offer a safe escape route to signify the importance of running away.
Yet in the next attack, Randy did not see running away as an option.
The blindfold was on and I could hear the being racked. So I knew there was a in this scenario, just didn't know what position or what was going to unfold, how many people there going to be. Take it easy. I don't want any trouble. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
While Randy's defense against the weapon was exceptional,
If I wouldn't have seen it with my own eyes, I would have thought that's scripted, but he did such a legit disarming technique. He pinned the arm, disarmed it, took him down, I would say thousands of hours training to do this technique in a real life scenario. Very impressive.
Unfortunately, that did not come without a price, as the weapon used was a 1-to-1 metal replica, and as the attacker got hit in a gap between the helmet, it led him to require stitches.
Would I do anything differently? Probably not, but at the same time, my intention was not to hurt him. It was just to get him off my leg. Is there another avenue that I could have taken? Yeah, I could have, but I hope if that ever to happen in real, that's exactly what I would do.
In order to ensure safety, in the next disarm scenarios, you'll see a rubber weapon, as we did not want to take any more risks. But Randy still had 2 more surprise attacks left, with the next one being a pepper spray to the face before a physical attack. The fight was stopped since Randy's helmet came off, but since in this challenge the first response and the immediate follow-up is what matters the most, it was enough to make an assessment. Randy did not get flustered by the mock pepper spray, successfully blocked the first strike, and did a beautiful takedown. Unfortunately, he was then soon reversed, leaving him with a performance which could potentially be later surpassed by the other 7 contenders.
If I were to run that again, the thing I would probably do differently is change levels quicker rather than going backwards or forward.
But before Randy made an attempt at the final surprise attack, a hood of a jacket placed on the head by 2 attackers, there was one more aspect of the challenge that was not introduced yet. The option of using the Atomic Bear Self-Defense pen fitted with a training tip for the challenge.
You have up to 2 uses throughout the 5 scenarios.
And to raise the stakes, the contender to use the pen in the best way will receive $1,000. But before the contenders put the self-defense pens to action, they were coached on the best way of using them.
I've seen John Wick, Jason Bourne using ballpoint pen. It looks good in the movie, but like first time you use it, breaks easily. And the grip on these things is terrible. It slips out, it hurts your hand. My goal was to design a pen that will have a better grip, mean teeth on the end. It also has a concealed glass breaker.
And then once the contenders had a chance to try the pen out, Master Ken had some valuable insights.
I like the double grip.
And then it was time to get back to Randy's final surprise attack. With the jacket being used against him and 2 attackers bigger than him, Randy struggled to get out of this one.
He's a big, strong dude. Great control too, like all the role players are bang on, great control.
Yet despite the size difference, Randy was still able to use the Atomic Bear self-defense pen, which in reality could have made an impact.
I drew the bear, I started to make motion like I was stabbing him in the leg, and then I could feel the other guy throwing some bombs. Same thing, I just started to rapidly swing the Atomic Bear, hoping to catch something.
Yet despite the intensity, Randy enjoyed the challenge.
It's fun, this stuff, I could do this all day. This is by far the best one yet.
Also wanted to add that we were discussing, should we like change the guys to be like more or less the size, but I'm like, you don't get to choose an attacker on the street.
You don't. That's the big guy that I train for. 6'6", 300 pounds. Like I'm the smallest guy in the world, man. Like everyone's bigger than me.
And then it was time for Krav Maga expert Shane.
You get walked into the mat room, you don't know what's gonna happen, you just see attackers all around. I know they've got some crazy stuff planned for us. And then they put the hood on you, your heart rate goes up, you're thinking, what's gonna happen? How am I gonna respond?
Although Shane did a number of things well by attempting to knock the attacker out early and getting into a good clinch to minimize the attacker's ability to strike with the wrench, unfortunately, just like Randy, he got hit clean on the head at the very beginning and then 2 more times right after.
I did my best to cover my head. Don't think I got my hands to cover my head just quick enough.
Yet Shane did not have a lot of time to contemplate his mistake as the next scenario was about to unfold.
They hand me like a newborn baby doll. My daughter was that big about a year ago. I'm thinking, whew, this is a situation I've thought a lot about. As you become a father, your mindset changes to be a protector.
Oh, what's good, bro? Hey, not much, man. This is your baby?
That situation actually happens all the time where people are saying how beautiful your daughter is. You can't allow them to get close, but you also can't just react immediately as like a crazy person.
Can I look closer?
She's sick, she's sick. Please don't touch her, please don't touch her. Hey,
Let's move it.
let's go.
Shane did a great job of keeping the stranger at a distance and presenting and using the Atomic Bear pen to dissuade the attacker. Unfortunately, he did not use the escape option like Randy, and as a result, the baby suffered in the process. But Shane was about to have a chance to redeem himself at the weapon disarm scenario.
The first thing Rokas says, there's a in front of me. My first thought was, is it a I can pick up and use?
Hands up now. Hands up now.
Okay, what do you need? What do you need,
I
sir?
found you. Yeah, get on.
What do you need?
Get on your knees.
What do you need?
Like Randy, Shane showed a masterclass in weapon disarming by initially feigning compliance.
I do not want to go to the knees. The moment you're down on your knees, you don't have your footwork to rely on. He thinks I'm going down. That's my moment. Boom, I go with a redirection and I do my disarm. And in my mind, split second, I'm thinking, awesome, that worked, it worked.
Although Shane was confused by the weapon.
Through thousands of reps of weapon disarms, my muscle memory response, muzzle strike to a tap rack as I create distance, it was delayed a little bit because I had a foam wrench in my hand. So before you see me on camera, I'm tap racking a wrench.
And the next scenario for Shane was about to get physical. Like Randy, Shane quickly recovered from impaired vision and went into a clinch, but then successfully stood his ground long enough for this round to get stopped. Yet if you are thinking that muggers wouldn't use pepper spray, it is a much more common tool used by attackers than some would like to think.
That could happen in real life. Pepper spray, you can just buy that. Any attacker could go around and pepper spray you before doing whatever they are gonna do.
The same was confirmed by our judge and on-site expert Mr. X, who has over a decade of experience in law enforcement.
I had between 10 and 20 real-life scenarios with pepper sprays involved. And those pepper sprays were used by the bad guys. They even stab you in your leg so that you have blocked eyesight, you have a stab on your thigh, you fall to the ground, and then they start robbing you.
Yet while this would be a terrible situation to get into, this is what Mr. X suggests to do if you ever find yourself attacked by someone with a pepper spray.
Even if it's very hard, don't rub your eyes. Try to open your eyes once and don't close it again. Try to see as much as possible. If you have to fight, go close and fight and stick to the guy. And if you can avoid the fight, start running away, scream for help, scream for police. If there's any cafe or bar or restaurant, go in, search for help.
And interestingly enough, this is exactly what happened to me years ago. One time, 5 guys approached me and asked me for my mobile phone. Although it would have been a good option to just give it to them, back then I didn't know better and punched one of them. Then they pepper sprayed me. Luckily, I managed to run away. I got to the closest grocery store while I could still see something and asked for help. But then Shane still had to deal with the 2 attackers using the jacket, which was another scenario that happened to one of our team members.
I had once this hard. It's hard. They put the hood on me and they start punching my back. Thank God the security guards came and they sprayed them.
And it's time to find out if Shane will be able to escape. One of the attackers was called off since Shane kicked him multiple times in the groin. But then soon enough, as Shane slipped the second attacker, his helmet came off and the scenario was stopped.
Good job. Perfect.
Shane completed all 5 surprise attacks, but he wasn't happy with his performance.
I feel like I could have read some situations better, specifically the impact weapon and the baby one. Yeah, not too happy with those.
But before we learn if the other contenders will be able to surpass Shane's and Randy's performances, there was something else that happened earlier that day. The score reveal, where the contenders learn how they are doing in comparison to each other for the first time. But if you're wondering why Vilus is not part of the group,
He's actually working as a PE teacher at school.
So basically every day I started from 8 to 2 working at school, and after that I just went for filming and fighting with other guys.
Kudos to him, no pun intended, he's doing kudo, you know. Okay, are you ready? And... Dang.
You know, I was surprised about the scoring because I thought I was last place.
I was in the middle, wasn't too worried. It was day one, lots of scenarios to come.
Yeah, I ended up being in second place after the first day. Second place has a certain spot in my heart. There's a lot of second place medals I have lying around. I'm gonna try and not stay there for long. Adrian was ahead of me.
I knew that I was up against some high caliber guys. It wouldn't matter where you sort of ranked, especially at the beginning of the week. It's only at the beginning and it doesn't maintenance where you're going to be at the end.
And Adrian was right. Each and every contender still had a chance to gain on everyone else in the upcoming 5 challenges. But the next 3 contenders struggled to excel in this one.
I'm led into the dojo and I get the blindfold taken off and suddenly there's a guy asking to like pet my baby or
As soon as they gave me a baby.
This is your baby?
Out of everything in the whole scenario that made me feel a little uncomfortable, I'm not even a father, but throughout the whole week, all the other contestants had been talking about their kids, how much they miss them. It was a very realistic looking doll too. So as soon as they did that, I was like, I don't get away from my baby.
I didn't know what exactly I need to do in that part of the situation, but I understand that I shouldn't be putting down the baby.
Just 1 second. Please, don't touch me, okay?
I was holding the baby and did a jumping back kick to him with the baby.
Don't touch me, okay?
So I don't know why this guy wants to hold my baby, but I'm like, no, you're definitely not holding my baby.
I want to hold it.
No, you can't hold it.
Don't push me.
Back up.
Don't push me.
Okay, I can't fight this guy with a baby. Like, I'm gonna crush this baby. And so I gently place the baby on the ground. Okay, I say gently place it. I think I might have bounced the baby like a basketball off of the ground.
Meanwhile, Villis' spinning back kick discouraged the stranger enough to back down.
Okay.
While Gabriel...
Don't get it. Step back. Step back. Okay. I don't want to follow you.
While doing a spinning back kick with a baby is potentially dangerous, and bouncing a baby off the ground isn't the best idea. Overall, all 3 contenders managed to stop the stranger from grabbing the newborn. Yet their real troubles started from the next attack.
The guy immediately hit me in the head with the wrench. Couldn't like even react to this. They probably crushed my skull.
Both Villis and Gabriel got quickly removed by the wrench attacker, but Josh wasn't set to go down so easily.
My strategy of just attack first without thinking and bouncing babies off the floor seemed to be working, so.
Are you ready?
Yep.
In each of these situations, I plan to just like right when the blindfold comes off, be ready to block something from happening.
And
that ended up working out kind of perfectly in this situation.
Josh's raised hands got hit first instead of his head. And while in reality this could lead to a broken arm, he would still have a fighting chance opposed to being knocked out on the head. Although Josh's position after the takedown left him vulnerable to still getting wrenched in the head, he showed an improved performance from Villis and Gabriel by being able to block the wrench with his arms first. But the next attack will test their skills beyond their martial arts training, as the surprise element was already pushing them to their edge.
The surprise factor from the first to the second in terms of speed just threw me off. And then from there, I think I just kind of had a tailspin. I'm like, what are we doing next?
There is a loaded in front of you.
Hands out now. Hands out now. 2 steps back. Where's my money? Where's my money? Get on your knees now. On your knees now.
What money?
On your knees now. Where's my money?
I don't know what money.
Give me my money or I count to 3. 1.
I'll give you my money in my
2.
pocket. Here's money.
3. Down.
In this scenario, giving the money doesn't solve the situation, leading Gabriel to a loss and Villis and Josh to attempt to do better.
First idea, just go out from the center line and try to attack double legs or single leg, whatever I could get him.
Hands up now. Hands up now. Go.
Villis' attempt to get out of the shooting line and go for a takedown turned against him, but left him with a valuable lesson.
And then I saw other guys. I should start like speaking with the opponent. I didn't thought that I could speak at that moment.
Leaving us with a question if Josh will do better.
Pretty sure I died.
All three contenders were unfortunate in the disarm scenario, but they still had a chance to make up for it in 2 more scenarios, with multiple attackers being next.
I get the blindfold taken off, and then suddenly I'm just like basically blindfolded again.
Are you ready?
Ready. Good grip.
All three contenders struggled with the 2 attackers, partly because of how much control the jacket gave over them, but also due to their size difference with the attackers.
The guy were big, they pinned me down to the ground.
Do you think without the jacket you would have had a better chance?
Depends on how he took me down. If he rear naked choke type throw, it also could give me some problems.
But then the final surprise attack, the pepper spray, was the 3 contenders' last chance to stand out before the final 3 contenders, including a former UFC fighter, will try to surpass their performance. But Josh came in prepared.
Actually, I got pepper sprayed like a week before that scenario. You have like 10 to 20 seconds before you're completely non-operational. As soon as I got sprayed, my strategy of attacking immediately was probably the right thing in the situation.
Both Josh and Gabriel ended up on the ground, limiting their ability to respond and risking more attackers coming in, but also preventing them from getting hurt, given that there's only a single attacker. But Vilus chose to go down swinging instead. Even though the 3 contenders had some good and bad moments, due to their long-lasting martial arts experience, they came out mostly unfazed.
It was so awesome. All the stuff was so quick, and you just need to react as fast as you can. That's so f***ing awesome. So
I've competed so much in jiu-jitsu, it's almost 300 times at this point. I don't really get the same nerves and adrenaline I would get. It's just a matter of trying to keep my arousal level in the proper window. Don't get too excited, don't get too calm.
But if a former UFC fighter will do much better, or if the next 2 contenders, US Sumo champion Sensei Seth and former rugby player Adrian, will also manage to keep their calm, we'll find out in a moment.
Haven't done much, if any, work in defending against a wrench, but I've done a bit of work of defending against a baseball bat. So my approach to this was to approach it the same as I would with a baseball bat. Trying to react as quickly as I did, I think I stumbled or tripped.
I pulled back, realized that there's no way I was going to be able to handle the distance. So I think back to my first season of USDC. Where was that at? Australia. What's in Australia? Crocodiles. So I go for a crocodile roll on his feet.
While the 2 contenders showed some similarities, they also displayed some key differences. Seth's quick reaction by stepping back and putting his hands in front successfully deflected the initial strike of the wrench, and even his unorthodox technique of attacking as a crocodile protected his head from the next few strikes. But unfortunately, he eventually did get clocked. Meanwhile, while Adrian did a great job of initially keeping distance, he suffered a wrench on the head when he was going for a clinch, and then got hit 2 more times soon after.
Yeah, that didn't go to plan, obviously, when I stumbled, so yeah, you can't win them all.
But Adrian, as much as Seth, still have 4 more attacks in order to redeem themselves, with a baby snatcher scenario being next.
This is yours.
This one hits home for myself, and I'm sure anyone who's got a baby or little kids. Whenever a baby or a child is involved in these scenarios, it turns a switch on in my mind, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, Seth was focusing on the other side of the picture.
Yo, what's up, man?
Roberto and his weird things, man. I'm so sick of Roberto trying to do stuff he's not supposed to do.
Yo, what's up, man? Is this your new boy? This is really cool. Really cool.
To Adrian's misfortune, during the struggle, the baby experienced a casualty, stopping the scenario. But Seth had a secret weapon up his sleeve, literally.
Can I hold her for 2 seconds?
Oh, no shot. Yeah, no.
2 seconds.
There's a baby back there.
And he kept coming closer, coming closer. I had the Atomic Bear self-defense pen on me. I had it on my elbow pad, so I took the opportunity to pet the baby, which, in hindsight, people don't really pet babies. And then I patted her. I grab it.
This a boy or a girl?
It's a little girl.
So he came close, I tried to put my hand out, and then immediately start to go for shots after with the bear.
Seth showed some impressive skills with the Atomic Bear self-defense pen, hitting the attacker at his eyes multiple times, and then using it to scratch the opponent's head with the pen's metal-teethed edge. If you want to get your Atomic Bear self-defense pen, use the show's link and receive up to 50% discount on the Stealth Pen Pro. As there is a limited inventory, don't wait. Get your Stealth Pen Pro now by going to theatomicbear.com/USDC or by scanning the QR code on the right corner. And since Seth hit the eyes of the attacker, which would have been a fight stopper, and he lost the baby only after the whistle blew, this round was counted as a win for him. Yet, there were 3 more surprise attack rounds left, which will decide whether Seth and Adrian will surpass everyone else's performances, with the highly difficult weapon disarm scenario next, which was successfully completed by only 2 out of 5 contenders.
Hands up now, back off, 2 steps back.
Took 1 step back, and then my train of thought was, I'm going to take a 2nd step, but at the same time lunge forward and try and wrap up the gun.
Get on your knees now. Hands up. Hands up now.
Yeah.
2 steps back.
I'm here. What do you want, money?
Where's my money?
I got it right here.
3,000 euros now, cap.
3,000, yeah. Look here.
Now.
Here.
Okay, now on your knees.
Typically, I would really prefer not to go down onto my knees. It's not a very athletic position, but I was kind of backed into a corner. Yeah, I gave him the money, and then you realize that he didn't want the money. He wanted everything. I can't really hear him, so I use that to my advantage. Hey man, I'm sorry, what? I can't hear you. What are you saying? And I'm just hoping that he'll bring that gun close enough.
What have you been,
I'm sorry.
Can you see? What have you been? Bam.
Both Seth and Adrian didn't survive the disarm scenario, although Seth's attempt to lure the person in closer was a great idea, which unfortunately didn't work out in the end.
And then he went like a gangster, pow, pow, pow. I don't know why in that moment too, I dodged and weaved. I was like, oh, can't shoot my head.
But Seth's good spirit changed once he realized what the next surprise attack was.
2-man jacket was scary. It felt like season 1 when they had the rear naked choke and the punches.
Seth's strikes, which were pulled for the sake of the exercise, were counted as concussive shots, requiring one of the attackers to step back and leading to an opportunity that Seth used to successfully escape.
This is something we did all the time in karate. From a rear bear hug, we would shoulder roll out of it, so that's what I did. By the time I stand up, I realized the first guy was gone. I actually felt pretty good about that one, which is a lot better than I did the first season.
But Adrian still had the two attackers to deal with.
Are you ready, Adrian? Lower your hands.
Lighter, lighter, guys, lighter, lighter. Don't go too hard. Don't go too hard. Adrian wasn't as lucky as Seth with the two attackers, but he had the right mentality.
Again, it's a realistic scenario. It happens more often than not, but it's just a case of just keep fighting. So as long as you can keep moving, keep fighting.
And before we'll get to compare everyone's performance with the former UFC fighter Natan Levy, there was still the pepper spray left.
Pepper spray. I've been pepper sprayed before, and it sucks. And I immediately try to at least get it away from my face, and then I turn my back a little bit, inviting him to come in. And when he does, I land a side kick from the depths of hell.
For reacting immediately to the pepper spray and landing a beautiful sidekick knocking the attacker down, while running toward the attacker after wasn't the most self-defense move, the scenario for Seth was stopped, and Adrian wasn't set to going down easily either. Although Adrian did better the scenarios than some of the other contenders, and Seth excelled at the challenge, they were still both frustrated about how they performed.
How do you think you performed?
Terribly. Really poor. I'm not happy with it. I'll come back and get it later.
You enjoyed it?
No, it actually kind of made me mad. I'm not upset at like production or like anyone for putting me in that situation. Like it actually kind of just got me upset.
Dealt with it the best I could in that moment. You're not always going to perfect it. Everyone has their good days and their bad days, and I'm my own worst critic as well. So I'll always expect myself to do better than what I did. So.
But there was only one more contender left. Former UFC fighter and champion of the second season, Natan Levy. Before we will get to compare everyone's performance to each other and find out who did the best.
Tell us when you're ready.
Ready.
To everyone's surprise, Natan was immediately eliminated with a clear headshot.
I felt like I had no chance of doing anything. I'm just standing there like, what the f was that?
And his bad streak of luck continued to follow him.
First of all, I forgot I had the pen in that moment, which sucks because I really feel like the atomic bear pen would have used me well in that moment.
Let me hold it. Thank you. Let me hold it. Let me hold it.
While Natan did a beautiful takedown and managed to keep the baby relatively safe, he was putting it in a more dangerous situation than some of the other contenders. And the disarm scenario did not help his case.
When challenges start, you do get hit with some adrenaline. There is some pressure involved in the situation and you can't catch every word. Just like in a fight, you don't remember what happened in every round, so...
On your knees! On your knees!
It's right here. I'm giving you my money.
I count to 3 and you're... 1!
This is the money.
2!
Natan suffered another loss, and even though he was being supported by the others...
He's doing great. It's a difficult situation and he's dealing with it really good as it comes his way.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very difficult situation, so he's doing well.
Despite the support, his lack of performance was starting to affect his confidence.
This is the moment where I'm starting to feel like show is not going my way this time around. And I'm like, man, did I lose the mojo?
But Natan was not ready to go out without a fight. Natan was the only contender who managed to slip out of the two attackers entirely, winning him this round and leaving him with the final pepper spray round. Despite doing well in the final two rounds, Natan didn't manage to surpass some of the other contenders, leaving him upset but also set on changing things.
I need to change my mindset a little bit. It's very easy to be annoyed and then frustrated and at some point be like, I'm not gonna win this thing, so might as well. But I do want to win this show. And if I decide that I'm just gonna succumb to like, oh well, everything is against me and feel sorry for myself, that's what I would call quitting.
But then before we will find out how many points all the contenders received, the best martial artist in the world, Master Ken, still had to teach them about their mistakes.
As expected, I'm very disappointed. Just know that there's always value in showing people how to do things the wrong way. Now we'll do the right way. I will correct this now with a Meridote. Let's start with the baby situation, okay? Someone comes up to you and you have the baby. I saw people holding the baby, I saw people setting the baby down, and I really see people using the baby, okay? When the baby comes out of the birth canal, it hardens the skull. What you want to do is use the baby. As he breaches my space, okay, taking the baby, okay, right across the jaw. Then coming in right into the groin here, okay? Then putting the baby just ahead, behind the foot, pushing him backwards. He trips over the baby. Picking up the baby, taking the diaper. It's best if it's used. Smothering here, taking them away, and as always, re-stomping that groin. All right, when it comes to the wrench defense, this is what is known as a monkey wrench because it was invented by monkeys. As they evolved out in the jungle, they began to make primitive tools. What I want to do is behave like a monkey. As soon as he raises the weapon, dropping levels. Instantly in the position of an X block. Now, the other thing that you need to know about monkey wrenches is they were developed to fit nuts. They needed the wrench to open the nut shells. So I take the wrench out, twisting and fitting the nuts. Two-handed grip, twisting the nut, okay? Just winding it in the scrotum. You get somebody with a tight nut sack and all of the blood, it pushes all the blood up into the upper body and brain, causing them to pass out, and as always, re-stomp that groin. All right, when it comes to gun defenses, the pen is mightier than the S word, in this case being semi-automatic pistol. Taking the pen, sticking it in the barrel. Pulls the trigger, explodes, probably damaging his hand. Now it's time to collect some DNA. So you want to make sure that you get as much DNA as possible from a variety of sources. You want to collect every category of bodily fluid that you can. So we start with something easy like blood, okay? We just go into the arteries up here. Going into the ear for some earwax. Lifting up, right into the nose. Then dropping down, we're gonna start back, inserting into the anus hole, moving it around, dragging in. Now we go to the testes. It's good to puncture both testes because you don't know how much sperm is in there depending on when he last expelled the fluid. Sweeping him with the pen, he falls down. Then as always, we stomp that groin. When it comes to using a winter coat in a defensive manner, use what we call a turncoat. Turncoat is something that betrays someone. My coat is about to betray my attackers. As he comes up to me, this is perfect, okay? He hands it to me. I hand it back, putting it over his head, okay? Now he can't see, suffocating. Now, dropping out of the coat. And he falls. Now I'm down to one opponent. Again, it's a turncoat, so turning, keeping him away until he grabs it. Now turning it around him. taking him down, strangling with the coat. The most important part is to then leave your coat on the body to make it difficult to determine the time of death, so that they show up as a police detective with a cigar. Well, this is confusing, because this guy died 2.5 hours before this one. I don't know if we'll crack this case. But before you do, leave the scene. As always, re-stomp that groin. He sprays. All right, now I have lost my vision. This is a good thing. Blind techniques are the most dangerous. So once I'm blind, I'm gonna throw blindly and just hope something connects. So just kind of eventually, one of those hits. You feel your opponent connect, you hear them hit the ground, and then blindly, you re-stomp the groin.
The day of the contenders ended, but without them knowing about it beforehand, they had one more surprise challenge left at the very bad hotel.
So we just had a full day of like these challenges, and we get back to the hotel. We're like hungry. I have this tiny ass room. I'm like, for the love of God, just let me go to sleep. And Rokas goes, okay, one more challenge. And I'm like, ah.
We still had one more room left at the hotel, the luxury room, which was not yet given to anyone. So I decided that the contenders will have to fight in a UFC 5 video game tournament for the chance to win the room. Yet it turns out, most of them never even tried the game before.
Well, I don't play video games, and I never played that video game ever.
That's funny because I do the mocap for EA Sports. I put the suit on, I go to the studio, and all the movements that are in the game, not just me, but a lot of it is me. I do Wonder Boy's movements, McGregor's movements. That was the first time I've actually played it, but I don't know how to do it, so I just button mashed.
I'm not super competitive in anything that's not fighting, and if I lose in the old UFC games, I beat Natan in the UFC game, I'm like, so what? But against these guys, I kind of wanted to win a bit more.
And Josh, having the smallest room at the hotel, wanted to win it even more, but
it's on an Xbox, and it's a game I've never played in my life. I don't play either one of those things. I don't play video games.
Yet despite their lack of experience, the contenders were forced to fight, with Gabriel naturally progressing to the next bracket since Vilas was not around, and Seth and Randy having the first fight.
Let me do something.
I just decide to go with like my favorite fighters and then just start spamming one move over and over because that's the only button I can figure out. So it's these low kicks.
Lost the low kicks.
And despite his lack of experience in video games, Gabriel was showing promise. While Josh's low kick strategy continued to work.
Hey, Bruce Lee, come on. Bruce Lee, come on, dude.
And finally, it was time for the champions title fight.
We get to the final, and Gabriel only knows one move too. It's just my move against Gabriel's move. So I somehow managed to knock out Gabriel and learn that I will be getting some retribution because of my good attitude and good karma of giving Seth his room back. I was blessed with the biggest room in the house.
Is there like an attacker in here?
Maybe. Maybe.
Completely black.
Whoa. Josh got the VIP room of the hotel, which naturally included a big bed and even a bathtub on a rooftop terrace, while Gabriel was happy for Josh as well.
Just having fun playing that game for the first time ever, knowing that I'd been a part of building it, and then happy that he got a comfy room.
But now that Josh's retribution was made, it is time to reveal everyone's score for the surprise attack challenge. Despite doing well at the UFC 5 game night, while Gabriel made some good decisions during the surprise attacks, compared to the others, he did not excel at the challenge, leaving him with a single point. Vilus also had some good moments, but did not manage to surpass the others, getting him 2 points, while Josh did slightly better, leaving him with 3 points for the challenge. Up next was Adrian, who showed promise, but still made a few mistakes too many, while Shane was one of the only 2 contenders to manage to disarm the weapon and had some great moments all around, but his performance was still not good enough to surpass the top 3 contenders. Despite not being satisfied with their own performance, both Natan and Seth had some exceptional moments, including being able to escape the 2 attackers and handling the pepper spray. Yet with Seth managing to use the atomic bear pen in a perfect way to protect the baby, while Natan put the baby at risk, sumo fighter Seth gets 7 points, putting him in a leadership position, while UFC fighter Natan is left with a prestigious 6 points, raising him up in the score table. And finally, for showing a masterclass at disarming, being the only contender to protect the baby without even fighting, and making great decisions in each scenario, former Special Forces soldier Randy receives the highest score of 8 points, putting him in a tie with Krav Maga expert Shane. Yet the next day is going to be the hardest one yet, as it will test every self-defense skill the contenders have.